He was not a hero. You were a murderous brigand.
We were monsters. I am the outlaw. Robin Hood.
Groweth sad and bloweth mad and springeth the word anew.
I owe you an apology. You begged for me to let you die. What's your name?
Can you make for me?
This is Trinidad the Islandman, your Islandman, coming to you live once again from beautiful Hawaii here on the island of Oahu, bringing you, yes you, the best movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, this is Trinidad the Islandman, your Islandman. And today, opening weekend of the new Hugh Jackman movie, The Death of Robin Hood. I went ahead and I saw it. And, well, remember our rating scale, Shaka Thumbs Up, it's good to see, I recommend it. Shaka Thumbs Down, it's junk, I don't recommend it. And, well, for this small, artsy film starring Hugh Jackman, Jodie Comer, called The Death of Robin Hood, it is overall a Shaka Thumbs Up. Now, this movie is not... I want to say it's not what you will expect. Because honestly, you know, with the name called The Death of Robin Hood, you know, you could be forgiven to think, oh, well, you know, it's not really the death of Robin Hood, or maybe it's just metaphorically the death of his legend, the death of, you know, the stories that people tell of him. Spoilers, no, it is the death of Robin Hood. But also it is the death of the legend of Robin Hood as well, of being the brigand for good, robbing from the rich and giving to the poor, kind of a thing. Here, Hugh Jackman stars as Robin Hood, an older Robin Hood's. Even before this movie had come out, some people were mentioning that it was kind of Logan, you know, old man Logan, kind of a Wolverine story, but for Robin Hood. And, you know, honestly, they're not wrong. That's exactly pretty much how it turns out, even with like a small, you know, girl that, you know, Robin Hood or Hugh Jackman ends up befriending in the end, and kind of teaching the ways, very much like X-22 in a way. So there are a lot of similarities. So overall, if you liked Logan, you will probably like this movie. If you remember my review, I did not like Logan at all. You know, because it was so different from what the comics for Old Man Logan was. And I really felt that it was disingenuous to have the end of Logan in his lifetime, but not even really seeing him fulfill his potential. At least not until he starred with Deadpool in Deadpool and Wolverine. Then, you know, we got a accurate portrayal of Logan, you know, to be sure. But what Fox had done with Logan really wasn't all that for me, along with what the X-Men, how they were portrayed overall. So, you know, Logan, being a Fox movie, really didn't do it for me. But Deadpool and Wolverine, of course, did. But I digress. This movie, Robin Hood, I'm not as invested in Robin Hood. I mean, we've all know the stories of Robin Hood. Like I said, his band of merry men stealing from the rich, giving to the poor. In this one, it centers fully upon, making a factual, actual portrayal of a possible man of myth, Robin Hood, being a bandit, being a killer of men, and not really doing it for the good. All those stories, right at the beginning of the movie, he says those stories that you've heard, they're just fantasy and made up. They're not true. I killed a lot of men, and that's pretty much, this is like Unforgiven, or like I said, Logan, for Robin Hood. Like I said, in it, him and his last friend, Little John, the last of the merry men, all the others have been killed off throughout the years. He's an old man, Robin Hood. Little John comes to him for help in getting vengeance for people who stole his farm and his wife, who he himself has stolen. Well, I'll save that for the movie if you want to go see it. But essentially, so they go and they attack to get his farm back and save his wife. But unfortunately, she's killed. They don't end up killing everyone, and they come back for revenge, killing Little John, kidnapping the girl, and but she gets away. Robin is seriously injured, but Little John is able to, before he dies, get him over to an island where there's a nun. He says that where there's a witch, a healing witch that can cure wounds, and basically it's this woman kind of doing her own nunnery over on an island for small children, and anyone who comes, she ends up, and she's very skilled in the healing arts, and she nurses Robin back to health, not knowing who he is. Spoilers, as it turns out, and he heals up. The two kind of fall smitten for one another, and Robin, he finally finds some type of peace. However, he's still haunted by his past, and he confesses who he really is to this woman, Jodie Comer. And unfortunately, her husband was one of the people that he had killed in his long, illustrious career of banditing. And, she decides to kill him. Although she does have second thoughts in the end. But Robin himself, Robin the Hood, wishing to pay for his crimes, his sins in a way, even though he could have this wonderful life with her on the island, chooses to have her continue, and begs her to kill him and finish him off, thus letting the legend of Robin Hood finally die, and for him to have the ultimate peace, knowing that the girl that he befriended, the daughter of Little John, stay there on the island with Jodie Comer's character, this healer, and live in peace. And thus the world is freed from the torment of Robin Hood. So it is a rather sad ending, in that it does have some highs, considerably less action, other than the beginning. The beginning is pretty much all the action for this movie, where him and Little John confront the men and try to take back his farm and save his wife. But the rest of the movie, Robin's healing, he's getting his strength back. It looks like, if this was a cookie cutter movie, it would have been where brigands seeking revenge on Robin, or, on the island, come to destroy the island, and he must defend it, and dies fighting them. that doesn't happen. That would have been the normal route for such a said movie. And maybe that would have been more exciting. I think it would have been more exciting. But still, him choosing to just let Jodie Comer's character kill him, asking her to kill him when she cannot continue, begging for him for his own death, as penance, I believe, for his sins and for what he had done to this woman, Jodie Comer, killing her husband, despite knowing that he could live with her happily as her new husband. But saving her that added torment and, and kind of paying for the sin of killing her husband, he desperately wants and lets her kill him. So a little anticlimactic, some could say, but emotionally more powerful than the cookie cutter of him defending the island and maybe dying in a final battle against some brigands, saving Jodie Comer's life. Again, that could have been more exciting, but I think more emotionally impacting is the way they actually did this movie. Hugh Jackman co-produces on this movie, so he definitely had the direction, the idea of where he wanted to go with this. And, he pretty much follows the playbook he did for Logan. And I'd say it does work. It is a smaller film. It's not going to have any impact seriously at the box office. And it's only showing at a few select theaters here in Hawaii. And I'm sure that's mostly the case throughout the mainland as well. But if you can, or at least wait till streaming, definitely check out The Death of Robin Hood with Hugh Jackman. If you're a Hugh Jackman fan, and like I said, you liked Logan, you'll like this one as well, especially if you're a fan of Robin Hood in addition to that. All right. Mahalo and aloha.